has had business in the city since before it was a city. My grandfather, we engaged in Quality Dairy, which became Virginia Dairy. A lot of us old people in Colonial Heights drink my grandfather's milk at Florida. So, but my concern is on the commercial vehicle side of it. Common working man, living on Lafayette Avenue, I live on Arlington Avenue. We have a median strip. I have access to the cut through, my neighbor doesn't. They've got a torn up piece of driveway in front to access the side of their house. But a common working man, just feeding his family, working with, for a plumbing company, electrician company, whatever. It's his weekend to take the truck home. He's got to take the truck home. He's not the boss. He says, hey, boss, I can't take the truck home. Boss will say, bye. Go find another job. When he takes the truck home over the weekend, he runs possibility of running foul of ordinance because he's on Lafayette, or he's on Hamilton, or he's on Lee, or he's on any one of the other streets down our way. That to me is my biggest concern. I thank y'all very much for addressing the hot topics to start with. Codifying that's wonderful. I know y'all work very hard with this, and I thank y'all. I know has been a lot of misinformation. I'll stand here and tell you that I'm a stirrer, if you will, of some of that misinformation. But I will say this: most of the misinformation that was spoken about earlier is because that's the only information that is out there. So, being that y'all had decided, just saying for the future, that y'all had made some other decisions, if they had been posted, you might not have had a firestorm on public media that was there. We only work from the information that we have. We can't all show up at meetings. I wanted to be here last Tuesday. I work for a living. Again, my family have all been self-employed in the city for a long time. And I do look out for our business community, and our small business people are the fiber and backbone of the city. But we're getting smaller and smaller every day. The large stores are coming in. They're putting us out of business. The big companies are coming in. And it gets harder and harder for us to survive. I had two businesses on the southern end of the boulevard. I had Wacky Health Pet Salon and Computer Solutions. The Boulevard project put me in a position that I could not survive in that location anymore. I had to close one business and move another business to South Park. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to go to South Park for a long time. But I had to give up revenue to make that move. And it's tough. It's tough in this city. It's tough in this business community to make a dime, turn a dollar. We hustle. And I've heard other people on here. They hustle all day long to make a dollar. We don't have a salary. We don't get a paycheck. We get what people give us. That's it. Our retirement, my God. We just hope we live long enough to collect Social Security, and maybe that'll be enough to take care of us, But anyway, I just want to tell you, I thank y'all very much for listening to us citizens. I hope that this good information that we've heard tonight makes its way out to social media, that other citizens that couldn't be here are well informed of the hard work that y'all have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gates. Appreciate that. And just to clarify one thing, Mr. Gates, a lot of times these codes, there's a process, there's a coordination process, and it gets out into social media before council has a chance to even review or discuss it. So, and then it goes wild, and then of course people are drawing conclusions before we hear from the public, like tonight, or even the work session last week. So, thank you for your comments. Appreciate that. I don't see anybody else that has signed up, but I'll reach out. Is there anybody in the public that wants to talk about this ordinance that did not get to the sign-up sheet?
My name is Dave Rusick, 401 Newby Avenue. First of all, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to Mr. Wood.
Thank you, sir.
She's definitely going to be missed. The only issue that I wanted to speak on is I have not heard a clear, concise definition of commercial vehicle.
Well, and I'll interrupt you if I can, Mr. Rusick. Last week we actually tasked that to the city manager and his staff to come back with the definition of commercial vehicle, and we haven't gotten that yet. There's still, it's a difficult thing to identify or to define and narrow the process to do it.
I think that certainly definitely has to be identified. And I believe that you should be able to park your vehicles wherever you want them. Plain and simple. But thank you very much.
Thank you. I see a gentleman over to the left that raised his hand.
Good evening. I'm Tom Crockett. I didn't come here to speak. I came to listen. But I moved in Sherwood, 307 Norwood Drive. I moved there in 1974. I had a 23-foot travel trailer, and I was told it must be behind the property line. And so I modified the driveway and everything, and I put it back there plus a fence. I also applied for a business license to sell firearms. I went through a grueling process with the city. Big restriction being you can't run a business out of your house that causes traffic. So I had some severe restrictions put on that license. I could only sell $2,500 worth of firearms a year, and they had to be shipped in from out of state, and I couldn't have people come in, open the shop in my house to sell firearms. I had to make appointments so they could come pick up a gun or buy it. But it was a big issue with traffic at that time. I don't know what happened. That was interesting too. And this is a little off subject, but because of the firearms license and the threats of getting sued if somebody used one improperly, I was very careful who I sold to. I had to know them or be a close friend of somebody that I knew and respect. And mostly it was hunt clubs. Then the ATF came along and said, "You're not selling enough firearms, so we're going to take your license." And what do we have today? It's ridiculous. They don't get together. These people just, and I understand it. You're doing a hard job and you're not in a vacuum, but somebody's thinking of it. Anyway, our neighborhood has slowly changed dramatically. And I agree, lady has 4 or 5 trucks down there. They are a hazard. They are coming and going at all times of day and night. If we don't have any restrictions, why don't the people that own businesses in this city, why can't they put up a sign 100 foot high, any kind of sign they want, neon lights? It has something to do with the value of living in this city. And it is, I hate to say it, seems to be heading in the direction of a sister city. But I think that's a big issue. People are moving. City manager knows, he lives on our street. It is turning over very rapidly. What was once a nice place to live. I have a boat, have a trailer, kept them all there. People know that when they moved in back then, but what happened to those roofs? And it used to be behind the property line, very distinct, I remember that.
Still is.
And we have a fellow down the street, he's in the construction business. He has I think he's following what I call it, right? No markings on his trucks to indicate that. He built a special driveway in behind his house. He can barely get this motorhome in there with a cover over it, but it's back behind the property line. And if you don't really look, you don't see it. I don't know what's said about these people that moved in and bringing boats in the driveway. What happened to the previous restrictions? Because they were here then, and I don't know that they're ever changed, but maybe they were. Got a guy put a pattern.
They're actually still in place.
Well, we had another fellow that's a street over. He puts a big garage in the back. He's overhauling cars back there. He's running the business. And when he says he isn't, it's kind of a farce. He's doing it for a relative. He overhauls them and relative sells them. He's doing there, the used cars, he fixes them. And so we've got this, the city's deteriorating if we're going to continue this. I have sympathy for people that have boats and so forth, but if the restriction is there when they move in, they should have to acknowledge it. We have a strong homeowners association. They watched it like a hawk. But then people, we even had a bank controls for hire. Some of those people moved, and that's kind of died, and when that died, I think everything else started going. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Brad Harder, and I live at 212 Ridge Road. Like a lot of people here tonight, I came just to listen, but I feel compelled to speak on the topic of the commercial vehicles. I have a towing business that I bought from a gentleman about 15 years ago, and have been running it not out of my home, but my tow truck stays parked in front of my house. I have blacktopped a portion of my front yard, which is right next to the road that I park my truck to. I respond to police calls, emergency calls, all days, hours of the day. And people want that quick response. If you tell them that you can't get there in a certain amount of time, they go on to the next. You lose a customer. So the response aspect is very much part of it, of keeping the truck available. So just figured I had to voice my opinion and try to relay that, just like everybody else and the topics, that, you know, it's part of life and putting up with certain things and trying to make a living. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry for your loss.
I know the gentleman in the right had his hand up first, so I'm going to
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Steve DeBronski. I live on 1308 Covington Road. I've been there for the past 12 years. My problem is with that number 3. You said nobody's out there in enforcement. Okay? Once a year we go camping, I pull my camper out, I put it in my driveway, I wash it down, and I get it ready to go. I do the same thing when I come home. I pull it in the side, and I've had to put up the gates, so I put it in my backyard. So I stay within the ordinance. Okay? I would like to see that lifted. I'm retired, I need to have that trailer in the yard where it's easier for me. As it goes now, I gotta get my neighbor to pull it in and out. Because of my neck surgery, I can't do that. I can't see with it. And I wanna try and stay with your ordinances, but you're making it tough. Number 4, as part of them commercial vehicles. Where I live, around the corner from me, is a pump station. I hear that truck roll by every day. Okay, I don't hear anybody complain about that. UPS flies up and down my street twice a day. So does FedEx. Okay, and when a pump station truck goes by, he's got an entourage and 2 other pickups that follow him. I don't understand all this. We're talking about noise, we're talking about blocking the streets up, but yet these vehicles are all on. I'd like council to take a look at those 2. I don't have a problem with the commercial vehicles, I really don't. Everybody's got to make a living. I was fortunate enough I'm retired. But I don't know how much longer I can do with all this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, Dr. Robert.
I'm Wayne Morella, 1317 Oakwood Drive. I'm hearing both sides of the stories tonight. And I think we're getting mixed up between personal and business. And I understand people with personal with the trailers, RVs, etc. But when you have a business and we apply for a business license, there are certain codes that businesses have to follow. I cannot go and put my business in my home. Number 1, because I don't have enough parking. So I think when you do this evaluation, consider looking at your business license codes versus your personal usage of vehicles, because they're two separate things, and this is an argument tonight. We are arguing about two different things, when we're arguing about one thing, it should be two different items. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Lady in the back.
My name is Eloise Ward, and I live at 1206 Conroe Lane. This is a very critical time for our unique little village here. And the appearance of our neighborhoods can attract or discourage supportive people to move in the city. Other localities are increasing. They're progressing, while Colonial Heights is not necessarily doing that. As you consider these things that will come before the planners, I'd like to find out, when you can park in front of your house, does that mean everywhere in front of your house, or a driveway or the street? I think that's important, because you would have multiple vehicles on the grass. There is a safety issue with multiple large vehicles, with children, especially this time of the year, and they're out late and they're playing. And it's difficult for people driving large vehicles to see the children, which everybody knows. Also, how many of these RVs are actually titled here in our state? I think that's important. It doesn't seem in the areas in the city that have strict codes, ordinances, just for their vicinities, it doesn't appear that they have any difficulty in selling their property. I really, really hope that we will step up and maintain the city in the way that it could be done. Also, in one other incident, a tractor trailer came into Colonial Heights in the afternoon in the winter, like 5 or 6 months ago. It was a refrigeration truck. It was over in the area of Colonial Heights off of Hamilton and Westover. It stayed all weekend and ran that refrigeration unit. If we have a reputation, or if people they would rapidly learn that this is not allowed in the city. And if it had been in the summer, many of those people either don't have air conditioning or cannot afford the utility bills. This was a really potential terrible time for these people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Council. Cheryl Benson, I live at 220 Marvin Avenue here in the city. Mr. Wood, my condolences to the loss. I'm actually neighbors with Mr. Wood, been for about 25 years. The gentleman that spoke earlier talked about what the city was like years ago, how quiet it was and how it's changing. Well, I think we're all acknowledged that our city has changed and it's grown for the good, and there's also some things that are not so good. But what it took 25 and 30 years ago to run a business and to support your family no longer applies today. Young families are having to work, mother and father, sometimes children have to work too to be able to make ends meet, to be able to live. And I just don't think it would be right for the city to